Hello, my name is Jaden Ridge Anderson. I'm in my second year at Ridgewater College, and in my audience today, my grandmother Anne Marie Anderson, my brother Ethan Swantek, my other brother Ashton Swantek, and my cousin Xavier Dawson. Did you know that psychology has one of the fastest growing fields in the United States of America, as there's a growth percentage of over 20% in the years 2014 to 2024? In my future, I plan to be a child psychologist, one of the many fields in psychology. The reason why I am choosing to be in this field is because I've always just really liked helping people in general, which is why I'm choosing psychology. And the reason why I'm choosing to work with kids is because I feel as though through adulthood, people get really stuck in their ways. And the reason why they get stuck in their ways is because of the events that affect them in childhood. And I feel like if a person has a negative adulthood and they're a negative person, it's going to be because of the situations that affected them in their childhood. So to avoid that type of situation, I feel like they need a guiding hand. And the best way to get that guiding hand is through a child psychologist or parenting, but sometimes parents can't be that. So that's why I want to do it. And another reason why I want to do it is because I feel like childhood is being shrinked in a way because of how we're progressing as a society. A lot of kids are growing up a lot faster than kids were growing up 20 years ago, as they're exposed to many things such as social media and stuff like that, which are exposing them to new things, which isn't a bad thing. It's just they need an extra hand, I feel. And in order to be a child psychologist, I will need to get my master's degree in psychology, which will be about 8 to 10 years of schooling, which is a lot of schooling. And I will need a major in child development, which will go along while I'm getting my major in, or my master's in psychology. There are multiple responsibilities when it comes to being a psychologist, but of course, the few of them will be working with children, and you need to set aside your bias. And when I was interviewing Chris Lindacker, a school psychologist from Watertown Mayer High School, she told me that she really needs to set aside her own personal beliefs and bias, as I assumed a psychologist needs to do, in order to really relate with the kids that she's working with. She feels like she can't be in their shoes unless she sets aside her own beliefs, is what she told me. And I just feel like that's super cool. Not many jobs require you to do that or change your personality and stuff like that. But many people view that as a curse. I feel like they don't view it as a blessing to be able to walk inside someone else's shoes for a day. But I view it as a blessing, and I would very much appreciate being able to have this job, so that's why I'm going into it. But I'll be working with kids from a very widespread label. There's going to be kids that are just having trouble in school, kids that have mental disorders such as ADHD, depression, anxiety, autism, but it's very widespread. And I think that's cool because I've been around all types of people throughout my life, and I feel like I can relate with lots of them. But not only will I be working with kids that have these disorders, but I'll be prescribing them in some cases, as most kids come into my line of work that I would be going into not understanding that they have these types of disorders. So yeah, I'll be able to point that out and point them in the right direction, once again being a guiding hand. But in conclusion, as I previously stated, I will need 10 years of schooling in order to be a psychologist, and I will need a major in child development. I will be responsible with the development of multiple children throughout their years, and I will also be responsible for diagnosing them with disorders and helping them treat it. I hope I accurately conveyed to you a good description of the job that I will be choosing, and thanks for watching.